Well, the government has welcomed Arvind Kejriwal within hours of his being declared Chief Minister to the crease with an IT notice and 7 hostile probing questions over the 2 crores the party received from allegedly fictitious donors. The AAP says it's a witch hunt. The government says we're doing our job.
The halo of Kejriwal's triumph rudely punctured by the IT department's 7 questions of the 2 crores it received in campaign funds.
The IT department believes that neither are these companies genuine, nor are their directors traceable. The IT department thinks that these 4 checks amounting to 2 crore rupees are part of a money laundering racket.
The Aam Aadmi has said that it will answer in full, but have also said that the government's launched a political witch hunt.
We would also want that the funding of all political parties should come under scrutiny, should come under transparency. And that is why we have also gone to the Supreme Court asking that there should be an SIT on political funding, or the scope of the SIT on black money should be expanded.
आरोप लगे थे और उसी के बाद इनकम टैक्स का नोटिस आ गया, तो कहीं ना कहीं तो कुछ समझ में आता है कि इनकम टैक्स का नोटिस इतनी आसानी से इतनी जल्दी तो नहीं आता है, पर अब कहां क्यों आ गया ये सब देख लेंगे.
A charge that the centre has dismissed.
I'm sure based on the facts or whatever it is, the Income Tax Department and the Aam Aadmi Party will be able to arrive at a conclusion. What is the exact issue with it?
I don't think this should be seen as any kind of an action from the central government, but income tax government is duty bound to take its own routine process. They are expected to carry out their own routine diligence and routine process of inquiry, and Aam Aadmi Party can clarify to the department.
The IT notice has not only tarnished the glow of AAP's victory celebrations, but more than that, it could push the AAP into a confrontation with the centre that it has so far tried hard to avoid. Bureau Report, NewsX.
Well, it's turning into a bit of a face-off between Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress. All of them are aggrieved in different ways. The Aam Aadmi Party is smelling a witch hunt in this action. After all, it's just the first day. This notice was prepared a day before the results were announced. The IT department has said, look, we're doing our due diligence. We have to ask these questions. The matter was raised by a group of very, very upright citizens. And these are steps that have to be taken in the pursuit of sourcing black money. Where exactly does this debate stand? Let's throw it open. Jaiveer Shergill, spokesperson of the Congress with us. Raghav Chadda, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Professor Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian. Aryama Sundaram, senior lawyer, also with us. Shaina NC, spokesperson of the BJP, will be with us in just a few moments. Jaiveer Shergill, let me ask you, sir. It's not just the Aam Aadmi Party. It's also the Congress that has received this notice. Now, it seems to us, on the face of it, that the IT department is doing its due diligence. Why is the Congress coming out and making this an issue? The Congress has come out and said that, look, you know, if it is about unearthing black money, then why hasn't the BJP been sent a notice? Why this? Why are you making this political?
Rahul, as you said right at the beginning of this debate, I agree with that. IT department is full within its right and authorized by the law to seek any information and initiate investigation if they find something wrong in the manner a donation has been received. We are not questioning that, and we will reply to that within the 4 corners of law. All we are saying is the investigation, if at all it is initiated, has to be fair and transparent and not to be dictated or influenced by any political party to settle some political scores. The fact the BJP has not got any notice raises eyebrows, casts a shadow on the motive behind this investigation.
No, it hasn't done anything wrong.
But if the investigation...
It says it hasn't done anything wrong.
The IT department...
Awam has not come out. The breakaway group of concerned citizens haven't come out and exposed the BJP. They've come out and exposed the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress.
Rahul, how the income tax department works is it collects information on its own and initiates a procedure on its own. It's not evidence based that somebody will go file a complaint and that will compel them to initiate an investigation. we file our returns under section 139 of the income tax every year. From the returns, if income tax department says information has to be sought, clarification has to be sought, they are more than welcome to take that clarification. We will reply. But if this is a tactic to score some political scores, then it is a unfair or a biased investigation which should be avoided.
Okay, let me bring in Shaina NC. Shaina NC, I'm going to quote some facts to you. And they might look on the face of it the work of an NGO, and it is the Association of Democratic Reforms. But that doesn't take away anything from the authenticity of these facts. Number one, the ADR, the Association of Democratic Reforms, has said that the BJP has not even submitted its last year's, which is 2013-2014, fund details to the Election Commission, even though this is a mandatory exercise. This report came out a few months back. The report also claimed that around 90% of the donations received by political parties, cutting across, let me finish, are coming from corporate bigwigs, and they're under the table because they fall under the 20,000 rupee cutoff.
May I respond?
Yes, please.
This is not true. This report, as you said, is a couple of months old. Please find out that the BJP is just about the only political party that has filed its returns post the Lok Sabha elections. I don't think this is about BJP versus AAP versus Congress. The issue is not that. Please, let's not get lost in translation. The issue is that you had a separate NGO that talked about absolute scandal, so to say, where 50 lakhs worth of donations were given from companies to the tune of 2 crores, all on the same day and at the same time. Now, if Awam as the NGO goes to the income tax and says that we have found out that the directors of these companies live in slums, the addresses of these companies are in temples, the people who have donated are not known, the companies have not even had funds and have been bogus companies, clearly it is the prerogative of the income tax to, if they feel they need to question, if they need to ask for information, if they feel they need to furnish for...
No, Shaina NC,
has nothing to do
let
with
me also point out
that, you know,
that
you indulge...
That a few months ago, once again, a few months ago, HSBC list had appeared in public.
Yes.
And on that HSBC list was the name of someone who was associated with black money, and contributions by that entity to the BJP were very much there on record. Now, what is the difference? If you claim that the Aam Aadmi Party received money from a tainted source, what's the difference? Explain to me.
No, I'm not saying that there should be no investigation. And please, Rahul, don't get me wrong. For a minute, I'm not even suggesting that if the AAP has the details to furnish to the income tax,
no, but I can't understand why the IT hasn't sent you a notice
to suggest that these are legitimate donors, then why don't... One second, but there has to be a complaint for the IT to respond, and I don't think that the BJP is an irresponsible party or has not been a political party for ages to realize that we comply with all the income tax norms.
Fair response. Let me get a political response to that. Aam Aadmi Party's Raghav Chadha is with us. Raghav Chadha, the Aam Aadmi Party is obviously wanting to come clean, but by making a counter allegation against the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing itself no favors, and neither is doing the discourse on black money any favors.
Rahul, if there is one party that has always stood for probity, transparency as far as electoral funding is concerned, that is the Aam Aadmi Party. There is no mandatory requirement for any political party in this country to disclose all its donations on its its website, but we do it because we want to set benchmarks that the BJP and Congress and other parties must follow. So that's number one. Number two, as far as this notice is concerned, we welcome the notice. There should be an independent investigation into our funding. It's the third investigation that is happening in our small period of existence, but I mean, we welcome that. The first two investigations that took place, the respective governments filed an affidavit in the High Court saying that the funding of the Aam Aadmi Party is absolutely legitimate and transparent. The third time that an investigation can take place, we welcome that, but we also urge the income tax and the other investigating agency to conduct a similar investigation into the funding of the BJP and the Congress, and you've quoted the ADR. Let me also quote the ADR and give you a figure. Since 2003 to 2013, more than 4,400 crores have been received both by the BJP and the Congress, and all this money is coming from unknown sources. 4,500 crores comes from unknown sources. So if the Aam Aadmi Party is being questioned of rupees, on account of rupees 2 crore donations coming from unknown sources, this donation of 4,500 crores of the BJP and the Congress must also be questioned. And I am all for massive electoral reforms. Every penny that is received by any political party must be disclosed. All political parties must come under RTI. We are willing to come under RTI. Let's see what the BJP and the Congress.
If you have such a problem, why don't you file a complaint? File a complaint. The BJP says there's no complaint against us.
No, so
why should the IT investigate us?
I'll answer that. You see, Rahul, yes, so the Income Tax Department and other investigating agencies in this country can act, number one, on somebody's complaint. Number two, they can take suo moto action. I don't know whether the notice that we have received is by virtue of any complaint or whether it is the suo moto action taken by the Income Tax, since the Prime Minister and no less than the Finance Minister of the country were, going on and on, using the words like money laundering, hawala, etc., etc. So it well could be, a suo moto cognizance of the fact and action. Okay. So all these agencies are absolutely entitled to take suo moto action, and I urge them to take similar action against the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Jaiveer Shergill, you want to add a point?
Just a quick point, Rahul. It's quite ironical when my dear friend Raghav gives sermons on accountability. In fact, they are the only party which hasn't filed their poll expenses with the Election Commission till date as we speak. Number two, there is no point in, giving sermons on TV. If they can approach the High Court or the Supreme Court with a PIL seeking amendment of the Representation of People Act, of the Companies Act 2013, Election Commission guidelines, expanding the scope of law and increasing the transparency. What is prohibiting them from doing so? What is, it's quite ironical. They preach about transparency, they don't practice it, they don't go to the Election Commission, neither they are approaching any commission or court seeking guidelines, amending the law or issuing a new guidelines. Look, if there is a limit of 20,000, increase it to 1 crore. Even that, has to be disclosed.
Okay. Raghav Chadha, respond to that. Three questions to you. Three counter questions from the Congress. And I want to bring in Aryama Sundaram and Professor Nalapat.
It's very ironical. It's very ironical that the country that is, the party that has ruled the country for more than 60 years is talking about approaching the High Court to get a law amended or to, get some changes in the law. It is the prerogative of the lawmakers, the people who occupy the treasury benches and the other benches in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha to pass a law to bring in electoral reforms. I've been told that there have been committees on electoral reforms and they need to be bring in.
Well, let me also tell you, Mr. Shergill, the courts have also found...
You do not comply with your regulations.
The Delhi High Court...
And let me also answer.
In 2013, held the Congress and the BJP guilty of taking foreign funds. So, there is plenty there, and I can quote that. I can quote that entire judgment. I can quote that judgment.
There is no... you are absolutely right. There is no denying of that fact. We have challenged that. Supreme Court has also issued
you can keep challenging.
Notice. You see, you have a right to challenge. No. What I'm saying is, Rahul, we are not...
The High Court found the Congress and the BJP guilty of foreign illegal funding in 2014 when they received funds from Vedanta,
England and Wales.
which is incorporated
all I am saying is,
rather than giving sermons on TV and other companies. And it also raises a bigger question about the quid pro quo. Vedanta is the same company that has been questioned repeatedly about bauxite mining and iron ore mining scams. So if there is if there is a company which is writing
Is that
checks
your
to the
answer?
BJP and to the
Is that
Congress,
your
and if
answer?
that
Why haven't
company
you
is
filed your
being
expenses with the
given
Poll
mines,
Commission?
iron ore mines,
Okay, one
bauxite
second.
mines,
I have
then
a
it raises
feeling-
a very, very grave question
I
of
have a
quid pro
feeling.
quo.
I have a feeling, and I want to come out to Aryama Sundaram. I have a feeling all these political parties are competing with each other as to who can look the best when they're in the dock. Mr. Sundaram, how do you view this?
Well, Rahul, I have absolutely no two doubts about it. Every political party needs its funding. Every political party gets its funding. As to what is the cause of this immediate debate right now, I really find that there's really nothing for such excitement, if any, on the part of the Aam Aadmi Party, because let's accept one fact. A few days ago, there was a huge expose. There was an allegation. It might be totally false, totally baseless. We don't know. But the allegation as it stood really showed that there was a lack of due diligence, and monies were taken without really testing the sources, checking the sources, in which case they were really in the nature of illegal donations received. Now, it is but natural, and if the Income Tax Department had not initiated an investigation into it, I would have found it very strange. That does not mean that they should not initiate investigations where investigations are due with other parties. But the answer is not, it has not been done for so-and-so party, therefore why is it being done for me? It's a different matter altogether to turn around and say, look, here is the specific allegation against another party. This is a suspect donation. Therefore, this is something for the Income Tax Department to investigate. But I don't think in the absence of anything, any allegation which is of some nature serious, the Income Tax Department is going to investigate. And in this case, we all know it's